So back we are here, still Pietro Pilacotra. Another interesting rule about this pursuit, skiathlon or skiathlon pursuit. We haven't quite decided on the official name. If you are not into the changeover quick enough, you're eliminated.
Yeah, 3 minutes back from the leader, and today bibs number 72, 74, and 75 from Denmark, Turkey, and Croatia not able to start on the skate part of the race.
Now Pietro Pilacotra has been caught. They've managed to attach onto him. They haven't quite got to him yet, but Ellefson leading the charge here, working really hard, but they are closing the gap.
Yes, that elastic band is still stretched pretty tight, but it's definitely not broken. You can see Matti Fredriksson moving up right with his teammate. You got the three Swedes, Per Ellefson, Matthias Fredriksson, Anders Sortegard.
But look who's just behind them.
The American Chris Freeman.
Still hanging tough. This is a tremendous effort. As you said, he's got such an appetite. And how disappointed was he that he didn't get that bronze medal?
I think it was, for Chris, I think he was probably a little bit of disappointment, but there's also just that first excellent, amazing race at the Senior World Championship level.
Now this is bad news for Pietro Pilacotra because he really put a lot into making the break, and it's the same as in long distance track and field. If you make that sort of break, you have to really make a decisive break, and this will actually demoralize him, the fact that he's been hauled in.
Now I think we'll see the pace slow down, a little bit of consolidation of this lead group. Pietro Pilacotra, he knows that he's made maybe his move. It hasn't been enough. I think he's going to sit back in the pack and hopefully both physically and mentally recharge.
Ellefson wearing 6, Fredriksson wearing 2, and Södergren 13. And in fact, it's 11. It's Jürgen Brink, not Södergren. And we said it the other day, you would not want to be in the stadium with Jürgen Brink breathing on your shoulder.
Definitely not.
Chris Freeman just behind. Then look for 22 with the red hat. That's Marcus Hassler for Liechtenstein. And further back with a sort of pinky hat, you can see wearing 3, Rennie Sommerfeld. He's being preceded by Lucas Bauer, just going through in white. 16 Verpa. That's Jack Mai, doing much, much better than I thought that he would do. He's sticking in there really well.
Anybody in this league pack right now is definitely in the ski race. We can see just with Pietro Pilar getting caught, the pace allowing everybody to get right back up into that main group.
And remember, they're still with another loop to do when they come in the stadium for the penultimate time.
I have to believe somebody's going to try to go on the next lap. Will it be enough? I guess we'll find out.
Sweden 1 and 2, United States 3, Sweden 4. Can't believe I'm saying this. Both Americans are in the top 10 now. This is a tremendous performance. And your team and the fans who are here are going to be going crazy.
Carl Swenson, from his background in racing bicycles, both road and mountain, and the long-distance skate races on the World Loppet level, I think he really, really knows how to race these pack races. To me, he told me about the duathlon pursuit that this is real racing. That interval start stuff, that's like time trial. This is what he really, really drives for.
Carl Swenson will pick him up next time, but also in the race, Justin Wadsworth.
Yes, Justin Wadsworth, the team captain for the American team, kind of led the way, showed us that the Americans could be quite good with his 8th place performance at the pre-Olympics in 2001.
Just shows you also the difference in age range. You've got Chris, who's 22, 23, Carl Swenson, 32.
Yeah.
10 years between them, but I tell you what, there's not 10 years between them at the moment. And still looking for a medal. Now that's Pietro Pilacotra being pushed out.
Marcus Hassler, maybe a little move,
yeah.
A little gamemanship out
but
there.
It was interesting, Evie Sakenbacher, who got the silver medal by a whisker yesterday from Zabielova, she had all sorts of troubles like that right the way through the race, and there's no doubt it does have an effect. But at the moment, it's Matti Fredriksson. And look at number 32, Carl Svensson for the United States, goes into silver medal position with 3,300 meters to go. Well, this is this too early for us to start thinking about the last time that an American got a World Championship medal?
Well, all I know is if Carl Svensson can hang, nobody is better than him coming off of a downhill finish. The last 2 years at the national championships in the sprint, I've been outdone by the man. So I know how devastating he can be.
Yeah, this season in the World Cup, 21st in Asiago in the classic leg, not bad. 21st in Oberhof, 26th in Kavgalovo. But he has really prepared for these championships specifically. Something that the Italians have come under a little bit of criticism for. Alessandro Vanoi, the previous head coach, slightly critical of Alborello, that he hadn't really focused on getting them right for these championships. But I think that's a little unkind because the Italians have been struggling with this awful flu bug. But look who's leading the race.
Carl Svensson getting a feed right here.
Carl Svensson of the United States. This is amazing. Now, what's he going to do? Is he going to try and break them?
If you're feeling as good as Carl Svensson is right now, probably anything is possible. I really think that Carl has no problem for him to leave it down to a group of 3 or 4. So I see him maybe racing very, very smart, but yet at the same time, just like staying in there. He knows that he doesn't have to make the race that early. He doesn't have to commit himself that early.
Well, I think this is a good move because, as we said, you wouldn't want to be leading into the stadium. You'd want to be in that group ready to attack. So I think what he's done there is just very, very intelligent.
This is very, very cheeky on his part. To hang behind, Matthias Fredriksson. I think Matthias really, really likes to ski from the front. He's still in the draft. He's in a perfect position. He's got a kilometer of climbing ahead of him until, I don't know.
Getting really excited here. Remember, they're through 15,000 meters. They're through 16,000 meters. It's Fredriksson and Svensson and Elofsson and Brink. There are Swedes, 3 in the first 5. Hassler wearing 22. You can just see him in the red hat there. And he's just in front there of Christian Freeman. Moving up there wearing 17 is Martin Kukal. The first time we've really seen Martin in the race. Now, I think that Kukal will try to get up there towards the top of this climb.
Yes, I think the racers are really going to want to try to be in that top 5 group coming up over the crest of the hill.
Not to forget also Lucas Bowers in there and Axel Teichmann. Look for Teichmann wearing bib number 12.
Also Barry mentioned Sergei Novikov, the guy we highlighted earlier, 3.6 seconds down. And the young Norwegian, Torrud Hofstad, 2.9 seconds down. So they're all in that lead group right now.
Where's Stolidovic wearing a 55? He's made a big move into the top 15. He's only a couple of seconds off the pace. Matti Fredriksson forcing it now from the front. Matti Fredriksson in the top 10, but no medal at these championships. But look who is shadowing him. It's Elofsson,
followed by Torrud Hofstad.
Hofstad wearing 21. No real spectacular results so far this season. No, in fact, never in the top 15. But if you look back to last season, 3rd in Lahti in the 15-kilometer freestyle race, 4th in Novo Mesto in the 10 free, 16th also, as I said, this year his best result in Novo Mesto. The skating is where he really turns it on. And he's coming there, in a sense now, fresh. Fredriksson's been up there, Elofsson's been up there. This is the first move, and there is Teichmann on the right, wearing 12, just about moving into 4th place, and he's going with Jürgen Brink, whose shoulders to me are just looking as if they're just rocking a little bit now, Jürgen Brink.
Yes, I think he's probably really trying to hang on to the pace his other teammates are setting.
Kukal looking very good in about 6th or 7th place now, and he's got ahead of Lucas Bauer. So he's looking as if he's the top check at the moment, coming nice and smoothly towards the business end of the race.
Just like Christer Skog called, he said he was the man. He could hang on the classic, and he would be there on the skate for sure. And if it came down to this, what we're talking about right now, he could definitely be the man.
And 22 Hassler still in the fight there. Pietro Pilacotra trying to get back into it as well. pick him out with the yellow hat. He's on the right of the screen there now, wearing 7. 11 on the extreme left. That's Jürgen Brink still in the fight. On the right, I should say, in the blue, as you look at them. Teichmann in 4th. Hassler Brink in trouble there. And still Jack Mai with them. That's a pretty good run for the classic specialist. But 3 are beginning to get away, are they now?
You might be thinking Torrud Hofstad's skiing out of his mind right now, and it's probably true. But something to think about, he is possibly their other skater besides for Thomas Alsgaard for the relay. He is racing. You know, maybe it's between him and Kristen Sheldal. And this would maybe give him the chance to race for the Olympic gold also in the skate.
Well, there's a huge crowd of Norwegians. They've really made the party since day one. And this is Norway versus Sweden. Sweden looking good for their first medals. There you can see Jürgen Brink getting tangled up with Teichmann. Now, Teichmann, the gold medalist from the 15 kilometers, has he lost his chance through that? Rennie Sommerfeld coming on now. Hofstad takes the lead. Hofstad in the advantageous position from Per Elofsson, wearing 6. The defending world pursuit champion, but it is the 23-year-old from Hurdal and Lillehammer who now has the advantage. Matti Fredriksson there, and trying to move up. It's actually Hassler of Liechtenstein wearing 22, trying to get in the medal fight, and Jürgen Brink, the excellent sprinter, after all the troubles that he's had, Torrin, he's still there in with a chance of a medal, and it could be one of his own teammates that he's going to be attacking for bronze.
Yes, it's looking very good for Sweden. Can they close that gap on Torrud Hofstad?
Well, the other night we were in the Excelsior Hotel in the centre of Cavalese. We just happened to choose that particular place to go and have a dinner, and we walked in on the official Swedish sponsor dinner, and they were all a bit downcast that they hadn't got a medal. I think they're going to be smiling in a moment, because leading the way, it's Per Elofsson. Per Elofsson coming into the final 100 now, trying to outsprint Hofstad, but look at Hassler. Hassler of Liechtenstein going for a silver medal. An unbelievable sprint by Martin Hassler, and also in the fight, Hofstad on the left of your picture. But it is Per Elofsson, the champion, is still the champion of the pursuit, with Fredriksson and Svinbacher. Svinbacher, I think, for Italy. Am I right? We'll just have to check. Not Svinbacher. Just looking at it, it's Jürgen Brink who's got the bronze medal.
A photo finish actually hasn't been decided between Torrud Hofstad and Jürgen Brink for the silver and bronze. Hassler just out of it in 4th, the 10th out. Matthias Fredriksson in 5th. Freddie Swienbacher and Pietro Pillicatra running 6th, 7th. Carl Swenson 9th. Chris Freeman 12th.
Well, an unbelievable finish there by Elofsson. And we said right at the beginning of today's race that he had said that that race on Friday would put him right, and so it has. Per Elofsson, Hofstad and Brink in a photo, as were Zabialova and Evi Sakenbacher 24 hours ago in the women's version, and it is very close. I think Hofstad of Norway's probably just finished ahead of Brink. Hassler, how unlucky can you be if he's just missed the medal by a 10th?
5 seconds separating the top 11. Just as we said, it was going to come down to the last little bit.
And we were looking for 2 Americans. To be honest, we were looking for 2 Americans in the top 15. We've got that. We've actually got 2 in the top 12. That's the... Here we go. Bottom of the screen in red. That's Hofstad. Look for the boot. And he's got it ahead of Brink in the middle. Hassler on the far side there. And after Hassler in the red hat on the far side, looked to be, well, they've said Fredriksson. But I'd really like to have a look at that replay again. These are unofficial positions. Per Elofsson, not overawed by Hofstad, cruising up onto his shoulder, and quite clearly able to handle the pace today. Spare a thought for Teichmann. Quite clearly that tumble must have cost him his chance. Teichmann not in the order, and I think Teichmann was right there. He's not showing up on our computer, and that's why I was hesitant there, because it looked as if it was a German suit in fifth place. And I think that maybe the little transponder on his boot, maybe in that crash, got destroyed, and that's why it hasn't registered on the computer. Ellefson, you can see Jürgen Brink just behind him. So gold and bronze for Sweden. Norway take the silver, and poor Marcus Hassler. Now there you can see that's Teichmann just behind in fifth place. And you've got to say how unlucky, given the fact that he had that fall at an absolutely critical time of the race.
Both him and Jürgen Brink, but it's amazing just to see Per Ellefson. He had a lot to prove today.
Photo finish.